Hi everyone, welcome back to my house. You guys, I have been taking over every inch of my home with my new hobby that is YouTube. And when I do my style ups, I do them downstairs in my front room. And there's another room that is, I don't know what these rooms would have been called in its heyday, but it's like two living spaces, okay? One is my wife's office and library slash TV room. And the front room where I do my style ups is like where we would probably invite guests over, right? Company, where there is no TV, it's just couches, art, that type of space. But I've taken over all of it, most of the house, really. I am swearing to not touch the guest room, although that is where my printer lives, because we do have guests from time to time, and I don't need to take whatever I've done apart, move it, and move furniture to prepare to host people, I can't do that. So the front room is still where I do my style ups, period. That's where I'll be doing my filming, because I just like how I've curated that space so far. I haven't been able to curate much of the house at all, not even paint that room, okay? And my wife's library office has been taken over by me, and that front room and my wife's office is like all of my stuff everywhere, okay? So I keep all of my accessories and bags in my wife's office, like a part of it that's closest to the front room. And I have all my handbags, all of my accessories, and my shoes, everything, so that when I do my style ups, and I can walk out to the front room and take my shots for the video. And she's very supportive. She's happy to see my things there. She's happy to see me do my thing while she's working. She's just happy, that I'm finally doing something like this. So she's very supportive. She loves it. She's like, go take more of the house, And it's like, no, but then it's like, okay, maybe. So, and I've also taken over my laundry room, the mud room. That's where I do all my sewing and washing of everything that I find thrifty. And so when I have things soaking overnight, I have bins all over the floor with, soapy solution. It's a lot. It takes up a lot of space. And it's not practical for me to be going up and down into the basement. Girl, these basements, they're next level scary. It's a very steep situation, it's like, I don't know, but it's not practical, I'll say that. Not scary and like a woo, but scary and like a whoa, I'm gonna fall. Anyways, what I want to do, okay, is just have a little space, another space of the house where my other art supplies can live, and specifically to paper art, okay, like painting, markers, color, crayons, drawing stuff, paper crafts. I love to do collage. And when I start something, like right now, I have a big plastic table in my living room. Okay, somebody comes over, I have literally no place they can walk into, and it's a house. And that's fine. That's fine. It's part of the course, when you're an artist, a YouTube artist. I start something, right? And paper has to dry. Like, it takes forever for glue to dry. And then I have to cut things out of magazines, and that creates a paper storm. And then I have to do a style up or a video or something. I have to walk away from it. And it's just like constant chaos that lives in that space. So I just want to utilize a different part of the house for my paper crafts. Now, paint is not on the budget, okay? Repairing these plaster walls, girl, it ain't in the budget. But what is in the budget is for me to clean the walls, just clean the floors, clean everything, and just reshuffle and reutilize things that I already have in my house, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. You know, until I can have a budget where I just buy things for one room, you know, including paint, and I can remake things, I can reorganize what I already have, even though it may not match right now, okay? Even though I can't paint the furniture item right now, I can reorganize things to fit a purpose right now. So the space that I'm in right now is the landing. When you come up the stairs, I have a little bit of a space, right? Like the walkway is quite wide. Everything gets really narrow really fast. As soon as I start putting furniture in here, girl, it gets tight, okay? Like if I put a chair, it's taking up this much of the corner, and it's a lot of real estate, okay? So I have to figure out how I'm gonna configure things. I'm going to put back some of the art that I already had hanging here. I took it down because the first thing that I did was wash the walls, period, okay? There's dust, there's dirt, there's pet hair. Have I done this before? Yes, but I have to do this regularly because it is intense, the pet hair, okay? I have 2 cats and I can't keep up with it. So if I'm gonna move everything out, like just to clean this little floor space, I'm gonna wash the walls, okay? So I wash the walls, the door jambs, I wash the floors, I wash the spindles of the staircase. I did everything I could. I washed the windows. I took the windows out and washed like the little track thing. I cleaned everything that I could. And when I do that, I'm cleaning it energetically too, you guys. You know, like I'm placing intention into these walls. A lot of people here have had their homes passed down generation from generation, okay? And I've only known this because when I speak to the locals, they tell me. And this house, I don't know how many hands it's been through. I can't remember. And I don't know what memories it holds. I don't know what people have said and spoken into this space or in this walls. And so I just want to, every time I clean it, I just want to clean it and speak beauty into this space energetically. When you clean something, it smells good, it feels good, okay? So whatever I can reach, I'm gonna wipe down. And and whenever I look at the cracks on the walls, because girl, there are cracks on the walls. And you know what, from what I can tell, I don't think people knew what they were doing. Maybe they did know what they were doing and then just didn't paint over the repairs, but it's a little worse for wear. But I know I'll get to it. And so when I'm cleaning the cracks, I'm letting the house know that I will get to it sooner or later, that she's very beautiful. I think the cracks in a lot of ways are beautiful, but girl, I'll fix it some other time, just not now. And just everything, putting intention into the walls, into the space of like what I plan to do, you know, introducing the idea into this space energetically. Girl, that's just how I am. That is how I am built, okay? Listen, I got up early and I did all of the housekeeping first on this space, okay? And it already feels better. And I want it to embrace my creativity. And listen, I have been plagued by negative energy. And so these are the force fields that intervene when that negative energy tries to make its way into your home, into your space, and it's your first line of defense, that it stands proud for you. I don't know if you saw that whole Marie Kondo thing when it was all the craze at Netflix. I'm not a follower. I just caught a few episodes to say, you know, I understand that I have a lot of the same belief systems. What I'm saying is that I didn't learn this from anybody. This is just my intuitive nature of it. Actually, I'm sure I picked it up somewhere along the way as a kid. But let me tell you, in some scenes, she says, oh, this home is very like, I don't remember because it was so long ago, but it's like the objects in this home care for you. This is a good home, it cares for you, kind of thing, right? So if everything is energy, girl, everything is energy. And my home is 200 years old and it shows. And the energy is built into the space of people who put it together, people who lived here. I've been to the cemetery in this town, girl. The person who initially built this house, girl, they are all over the cemetery. Like, it's a family that lived here and they're all just up the road. Hey, you know what? I've never had an issue, and I don't mean to have one, I don't want one, but I just want anything and everything to know that I'm very appreciative of this home and that I have good intentions for bringing her more adoration, more adornment, if you will. Listen, I know that's a lot to say with not enough clips to cut in and out here. All the cleaning that I did, and I had to pack up a few orders and go to the post office before that, ended for me. It is now after 2 o'clock, like 2:20 right now, and I need to start bringing things in. Now, as I bring things in, I am also going to clean them, when you bless something, essentially you are charming it. And so I'm constantly blessing my objects, my things, being grateful and thankful for them. One thing you don't know about me is that I am someone who experienced homelessness at an early age. Girl, I just bring it up because it's a fact. And that's where all of the gratitude and appreciation for everything and anything I have. I don't like seeing things discarded or casted away, or like they don't have a purpose, they don't have value, because I know what that's like. And they do, which is part of why I like upcycling things, right? Or creating art from magazine clippings even. So girl, all of that. Are you still here? Shoot. I'm gonna start bringing things in. I don't know how things are gonna fit in. All I know is that I got old thrift finds that need work and very white IKEA things that serve for good storage. And that's all I have available to me right now until circumstances change, that I can utilize to make this space work, because my house deserves a little bit more organization for everything that I like to do. So yeah, I'm gonna start bringing things in and I'll cue you in as I go, okay? Let me just first give you a little panned, girl, it's a small space, just to show it to you. So as you come up the stairs, that's the bathroom we have up here. That is a bedroom, and this is the landing up here, okay? Pretty wide landing. So hopefully I could put items here. And then this is the larger little alcove. Now I'm very lucky that there's one outlet here that I can utilize for a lamp so that I can get some light in here. And that's it, guys. That's the space. This doorway that's here, hold on. This door that's here is my master bedroom that serves as just a large walk-in closet because we have so much stuff. Yeah, and that's all the lighting I have, okay? So I'm not gonna bring up a bunch of lighting equipment so that it's brighter, so I hope that's okay with you, because that's it. I can't have obstacles around me and like worry about that as I'm doing this. I've collected a lot of magazines while thrifting and garage sales so that I can collage with these things. And so it's a lot that I'm gonna be schlepping up here. So I'm gonna get some furniture pieces up here that I'm just gonna see if it works. I've shifted the furniture as much as I could around, and you know, it was starting to mess up my floors, and I'm not too worried about that, as you know, when future times arrive and I'm going to revamp the floors, but I didn't want to do too much damage either way. And then I just got tired of moving these pieces around and shuffling them around, but I think I'm settled on this. I did not want to bring in this beast in, okay? But I had it in my closet holding a bunch of stuff, but I think I'm just gonna find a different place for all those items, because I remembered it's not just magazines that I have that I do my collage artwork with. It's a bunch of books that I've thrifted, and you know, that's what I use to harvest images from. So I need this shelf for books. So I think what I'm gonna do is do a combination of books and magazines here, try to make it look as nice as I can, and books here. Now the bottom part, I have to put the shelves in, right? There's a shelf that goes in here. I'm going to put like stuff that I need, like glue, pens, you know, things like that. So I think that this is gonna be a good storage solution. And I spaced it out as best I could, because I wanna be able to put like rolled up paper, like gift wrap paper, maps, posters, things that I come across that I also utilize. I want to just be able to like roll them up and tuck them in here lengthwise, so I don't have to like create folds in them. This is all furniture that's just moved around with me, that I've had in different homes, that I've just kind of dragged around with me. So this used to be a vanity of mine. It's from IKEA. It's very small. I think I had it in my RV, in an apartment, and then in my RV, and now I don't need it in there. But this kind of drawer dresser, right? It has really thin drawers. Used to hold accessories, but then I moved everything downstairs so that I can use the stuff for my style ups. Like, I need to be able to see everything. And it's a perfect place for papers. So that's what I'm going to use that for. There's an extra drawer here, this little situation. Now, what's happening with these string lights is that I'm trying to solve for the darkness in here. Okay, I have to think about when winter is here and it's pitch black, and this lighting fixture does nothing, and it's too warm. I have this one too from a previous apartment that I just think it's cute, but it's very ambient, warm lighting, which I love, but I need to bring more light in. And I remember I had these string lights in my RV from when like we go camping and we stay longer than a couple nights. I'll put them up to light up the outdoor space. I think it's gonna do a good job of lighting. And I was just trying to see like how much can I cover? And I think I might be able to string them up just this roof line here, you know, from there. And I was just trying to see like, am I gonna have to like go in a straight line here, or can I trace the actual line? And I think I can trace the actual line. So I put felt pads in front of the legs of these furniture pieces, because this whole house is just wonky, you know, it's very old, and in some parts it's leaning forward. So to kind of balance and compensate, I put some felt pads, and then when you walk across, you know, it's like, it's a freaking earthquake. So I got some felt pads that I cut out myself, since they're all such odd shapes. So I think I'm just gonna start. The last thing I'm gonna do is probably the lights. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not married to anything right now. This chair, okay? I could not do away with this chair. And listen, I wish I could use all different wood furniture. I wish I was trying to figure out how to just leave the dark stuff on one side, but it just didn't work. I had the shelf over here. I did everything, but because I only have one outlet, these tiny windows, like if I'm up here getting lost in my work, I want to be able to see, like, you know, who's in my driveway. This is just how it's going to be. It's going to work out perfectly. I'm just going to start throwing pictures up. It's hit or miss with these walls. Some of these screws, like the two that are on this wall, I don't know if you can see, a lot of this stuff was already here. I didn't want to like take it out. I took out some screws from downstairs and in this room. They just left the mirror up, and I'm like, why would they leave this mirror up, girl? I took it down, girl. It was heavier than hell. And once you take those screws out, like these walls I don't know what they are. I'm pretty sure they're plaster. I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't ask. They didn't tell me, okay? It just creates more damage. So I just left it up until I'm ready to work on the walls, okay? I'm glad I put the felt pads on before I started adding weight. Now I'm gonna put the shelves up and just start bringing books and magazines up. It's a lot, but I'm glad I'm doing this because it makes me real happy to be able to have this stuff allocated to one space, and I can walk away from a project and come back to it and pick up where I left off, okay? So very, very happy. I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah, this chair, okay. I have to have this chair. First, I love the chair, okay? But like when I'm getting ready, like we have to catch each other on different parts of the day, me and my wife. And so if I'm in here, I have a chair in there where she sits down and I don't have to stop getting ready, or we have to like meet up in a different part of the room to talk. And so here she can sit and talk to me and let me know about stuff, or this chair has to be here. And she likes to lounge in this area from time to time and think. So, and she'll read a book sometimes. So I didn't want to do away with this chair. And I'm glad that I was able to work it in this way. Now to bring in all of my books. Whew, it's a lot. So, but the good news is that I have some proper storage to work with. So let's get started on that. There's more. It's just my knees feel like jello. So in my mind right now, initially, what I think I'm going to do is make stacks of magazines here. I thought I wanted them down there, but I don't know. I think I work from magazines more often than I do the books. So I think I'd rather put books down there. Now, these are probably my largest books, right? In that they're heavy and wide or long. So I think I'm going to position the larger ones at the bottom to create like a stable foundation, because this little like woven piece insert here, if I stack books that fit into that, it's going to sag and tear through. So by putting my large books down here flat, I think it'll create like planks that'll distribute the weight better, and then build up from there. And then I'll put more books on top of those. And so that's just the idea right now. Oh, it's heavy. Trying to see size-wise, largest to smallest. I thrifted all of these books. And it's just crazy to think that a lot of this stuff goes to a landfill, you know, but you can utilize these things for your art, which is so cool to me. I just sometimes I bust things out because I grew up thinking, like, nobody told me this. I just always felt like my dolls had feelings. I didn't like seeing them or my things on the floor. And that's just like something that for some reason I was born with. Nobody taught me that. And so I just grew up feeling that everything is energy. And gosh, I don't even know if it's this, if I'm saying it right, but I believe it's in alignment with some of the Japanese beliefs of Shishinto. I could be very wrong, girl, I don't know. It's kind of like how Marie Kondo thinks about things, right? Where I think she was like, thank something for its service to you and let it go, right? Like every article of clothing, it's something to do with that. I don't know. My wife, she tries to teach me these things and I don't retain it. I was explaining it to her one day and she goes, oh, that's just like the Japanese. That's how they believe their objects and everything has energy. When I see these books, like these incredible books that, you know, cost a fortune in their heyday, are just cast away, I don't know. I think, hey, I can definitely use that. I still save what I can. I mean, I'm looking more for picture books so I can harvest the images. I just do. I can't tell you why. I like to create. I've been writing like handwritten paper notes. Like I have a lot of scrap paper from when I make my labels, like a shipping label, if one prints, like half of a whole page is blank. And I try to use it for pattern making or scraps. I try to write thank you cards on them. And then when I go to the thrift store, it's like I find all of these cards, like playing cards, and they're just going to go in the trash, you know, but one is missing. So nobody wants it. And I'm like, well, they could at least carry a nice message before they go off to the dump, in my opinion. And so I use them to make little thank you cards, you know, have one last use before they get disposed of. Okay, so that's my largest books. Let me see if I can even this out. I like how that looks. That's good. It's evenly distributed, and I can put more stuff on top. Let me see if I put this one here. That's good, but it has to go at the bottom. And I was like, oh, I can make tags as well. I don't know, girl, I don't know. But I like to make collage art and make things by hand. And that's just something that I can do with these things. When I was doing like deep trauma release therapy, I used the time we were in Switzerland during the pandemic, and I was like, look, I'm in the best place for this type of work. I found myself a therapist, and I prepped the therapist like, this is what I intend to do during this time. And my wife was working from home, you know, she couldn't do much for me or with me. So it's like, I'm doing this. One of the ways that she wanted me to like get creative with, because I was enclosed indoors, how about making art? And I couldn't just like go out and invest in a bunch of art supplies, but I had some magazines, and I was like buying fashion magazines or something like that. And so I was like, okay, so I made some magazines. Actually, I think I can show you. And I made this. This was my very first picture or mural or art. I don't know if you could see it, but I did collage, right? And I got really into doing like fussy cutting type things, like really tiny little things. And then I started adding acrylic paints into certain areas. And like there's even, like this is a keyhole and a tiny little eye that I cut out to put in there, and right here in like the third eye position. And when I showed the therapist, she's like, whoa, that's really intricate. Like, girl, the palm fronds, I cut all the negative space in between them so that it looked, I don't know, well, good. You know, this is the first one I ever made. And she's like, that's really good. I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And so I was like, well, maybe I should make more of these. And so I just want to create more art for my home, you know, because I get to put all of that intention into the artwork that it then energetically radiates. That's just how I think it feels. It's very crazy. This one hangs in my bedroom. I got this frame at the Brocante, I think they call it, the thrift in the little village we were in. Like I went down there and I was to display it with, you know, pride. That's just kind of how I was able to get through my therapy and what I could afford to do, that you could afford to do. You know, you can get your own magazines. Ooh, and I was able to, I have more magazines downstairs. I got them at a garage sale, you know. So I just love collecting these things because, you know, they'll serve a purpose. At least for me, they will. I'm constantly creating, you know, in my mind, and I just want to do it, you know. Let me see if I can show you. So it was kind of me surrendering to the divine feminine, and I'm in the church. And the divine feminine is me, it's you. It is us, it is each other. I don't know, that's just what I felt called to try to depict. My wife, when I showed her, she was like so proud of me that I did that. She was really impressed, I guess. My wife is my biggest fan, I'll say that, okay? I spent so much time not doing much for myself that she was constantly breathing and speaking life into me. And now she's just happy that I'm doing something for me, you know, and I appreciate that. But when she saw it, she's like, oh my God, you should get that like printed and and actually put it up for sale because it's so cool. Like, people would also like to have that type of art in their home. And I was just like, I wouldn't know where to start. I don't know how to begin. I think you have to know how to use Photoshop to edit the image and then take it to a printer, and then how to even begin to charge for something like that. That's just the kind of person my wife is. She's really sweet. These magazines come in different sizes too, so I'm gonna try to just size them up as best I can. And I'm gonna try, I think 4 would be a little more manageable of a stack. Yeah, I think I like that a lot better than this. Could space them out a little bit more. And this is just organized now because once I get started, girl, it's chaos. I like to make, like, me and my wife, we like to, from time to time when we can, go to Sedona on a retreat, you know, and do things. And without fail, almost every time they want us to do a vision board. And so I was like, we don't need to pay these people a bunch of money to provide magazines and sit there and watch us. You know, I was like, we can do it ourselves often. And so at least once a year, we sit down together. Probably at New Year's is when we do it. We'll sit down together and create a vision board. My sister does it too. My little sister, she'll do it, and then we'll have like a meeting and show each other our vision boards for the year. That way we can all hold it in our mind's eye for each other. This is really useful for that. I don't know if you guys like to make a vision board. Girl, you got to make a vision board. You just have to. A vision board can be anything, right? It could be the size of a postcard with words on it, or a poster board. Mine's constantly changing my style, and I love to use colorful pictures to depict what it is that I would like to see come into fruition for me in the coming year. Now, I have more, like I said, more magazines downstairs that I'm going to bring in, and they should fit on these piles. I like how the books are down there. Now I have these other books. I think I'm going to stack them on top of those books because I have decorative items. So I'm thinking I might allocate just one shelf to decorative stuff. I don't know. I might not be able to incorporate them anymore. I don't know. But I think a safe bet for the books is to just continue stacking them on top of those books. I've been watching people make junk journals where there's like just a bunch of decorative, really cool items collaged into a book. Oh my gosh, I want to make one so bad. And I am, and I have started. I just didn't realize how long the glue would, because they move on. They're like, okay, we glued the pages. Okay, now going on. It's like, and then I try it. I'm like, holy hell, this took days to dry. How are they doing it? So yeah, I think that it's kind of like a vision board, right? In that I'm going to just be putting beautiful images and items and things in there. I could put like scrap fabric, beads, charms, you know, stuff that I wasn't able to utilize for my DIYs or my style ups. I have plenty of items. I'm very excited. You know, I tried to show you guys what my day is like here. Quite busy with all like the stuff I have to do around here. And you know, at night is when I try to sit down and answer the comments, like, because I want to give it my entire attention, you know. So once I'm winding down, ready, and I'm in bed, then I can read them. Like last night I woke up at 1 a.m. because my cat, sometimes I can't, on top of that, I can't sleep very well because my beautiful boy, my eldest, has hypothyroidism, and he yowls, you know, he's in complete discomfort. He has like that goiter type lump in his throat. And girl, we've taken him to Chicago to get radiation therapy. We had to leave him there for a week. We've looked at everything, all the experts, diet, everything. I mean, we've spent quite a bit in trying to make him more comfortable. And he's also got kidney disease and things are failing, okay? So it's a very touchy subject for me, as these are truly my first pets. And my other cat has kidney disease. And so we're just constantly trying to give them the best experience, comfort, and care. And if he wakes up looking for comfort at 1 a.m, I'm gonna wake up and give it to him, you know. I think about, I won't be hearing him any sometime in the near future, and I don't care how tired I am, I'm gonna be there for my kids. I'm honored to be their guardian, caregiver, and sometimes not sleeping, if not most times, comes with that. So that's what I'm gonna do, period. And I try to tell him I love him every gosh darn second I can. Even when I'm busy throughout the day, I go in there and check on him, both of them, and tell them that I love them. And yeah, so that's going on. But once I give him love and attention and he's able to go back to sleep, he's also peeing blood. But once he's able to go back to sleep, then I'm awake. You know, I can't just like go back to sleep. Come here, Daddy. You want to say hi to the sisters? You want to show them your handsome face, Daddy? Oh, he's a handsome man, you guys. He's handsome. He's my baby. Oh, yes, he's my baby. He's a healthy man. Yes, he's a sweet boy. And now this space is right off of the bedroom, because if I go too far, if I go to my studio, he starts yelling his head off. He's very upset that I'm that far away. And so this space is right here by the bedroom. He could see where I'm at, and I can come and make thank you cards or tags or something, you know, collage, get my mind off things until I get tired again and go to sleep. But that's what's going on, guys. It's all a part of life. Okay, next, bring up more magazines. I completely forgot that I run around seeing what rugs I could spare. And I have a runner and a circular one here, but that's an issue because thank goodness I caught that now. I put the shelves in, but I might have to lift some of this furniture to let the rug go underneath this stuff, right? So I'll put the runner down first. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty good. This one. That's what I have for now, but quite a bit of it has to go underneath my furniture here. This chair is just one of my dining room chairs. It's just me and my wife, so I have 2 chairs that I don't really keep at the table, so it's perfect. The chair first. And this is gonna be a problem. Oh, fudge. All right, success. I'm glad I remember that now because that wouldn't have been able to happen later. Okay, I'm just gonna keep bringing up stuff, all of my stuff that I need to bring up here and then get it organized. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to do this. We're in day 2, but to be fair, I didn't get started on this task till noon because I had to fulfill some orders. And when I get an order in, like I just rush it to the post office as soon as I can because I just want it to go out, you know, as soon as possible, which is all very good things, but walking up and down the stairs is so taxing. Oh my gosh, that I feel it above my knees. Like, oh my gosh, my knees start feeling like gel and I'm like, okay, that's enough. So I brought up what I could, which was more books. You know, like the more I look around, there's more books. I just know that there's more, but this is most of it. There's a bunch of books here on the floor, like, oh my gosh. I brought up all of my paints, paint brushes, And so I'm just gonna put those in here. Glues and stuff, my X-Acto knife. So I need to put stuff in here, and everything's mixed up together. So there's stuff that might have to go back down. And I'm sure even after I'm done making this video, there'll be still more things that have to come back, you know, up in this place. But at least I have a space allocated for those things. Last Friday, that movie Disclosure Day came out. That Steven Spielberg movie. I knew my wife wanted to see it, so I planned a date. Usually she's the one who does stuff like that, but I was like, I need to plan a date. You know, she recently started consulting and working with this company, and she's been working nonstop, helping me with all of my tech issues. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna plan a date to take her to go see that movie, and it was a hit. What's this? Oh, this goes back downstairs. I haven't seen a movie in a long time. Like, I haven't gone to the movies in a while. I thought it was okay. It didn't rock my world. We were both kind of like meh about it, but that didn't matter because we had fun on the date, you know? I took her to a drive-in theater. There's one not too far from us, and it's like been open for years. It's super cool, very popular with the locals. And I decked out the back of the truck of our car with like the couch cushions, and like I made it a little mini cushion Taj Mahal for us. She was working up until we had to go, so she didn't see what I did until we got there. And I picked up her favorite pizza and wings, and I ordered a radio. Okay, I ordered a radio, a $20 radio from Amazon, because I knew, I was like, I'm pretty sure these drive-ins are Bluetooth now, and I don't want the battery to die, blah, blah. I was thinking all these things, and I was just thinking like, just to be safe, I'm gonna buy a little battery operated radio. Well, girl, when it came, it was this size. So I was like, what the hell? It worked wonderfully, actually. And we didn't have any problem listening to the movie, seeing it. It was such a good time. She's still talking about it. Like, oh, I definitely want to go and see another movie. That was so fun. She wants to go see Odyssey, I think. She's like now into the idea of going out to go see a movie. Out of nowhere, just pure impulse, I bought tickets to a show. I never do it. Girl, I've never in the history of us have done that ever. I bought it just last week. I saw a billboard and I was like, I'm taking her to that. I just decided. And so I want to be able to do more things like that with her, for her. I don't want to say it now because I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I'll tell you guys about it, you know. It's some show that's at a casino. So I know that she's nostalgic about this group's music. It's not the group, it's a cover group, but you know, they do their best to fit the part, and it's not for me, but I know that she would enjoy it. So I was like, I'm taking her. So I wish I could blindfold her. It's not even that big of a deal, but like I wanted to be a surprise. But as soon as we start driving towards the event center, it's going to be evident what it is. But you know, whatever. She'll be fine. I'm sure she'll be surprised and like it. You know, I just want to do more things with her. That was fun. I'll let you guys know about what happens on our next date night. I wish I could vlog it. It's just because you never know, you know? It's at a casino, but it's not in the casino grounds. Can I even film? What if they tell me like, no filming of photography, you know? It's annoying. So no promises, but that should be fun for her. I'm really tired from just lugging all of these books up here. Stencils. Okay, these decorative little boxes where I have things like stencils, I probably should put them in here, but I'm thinking about keeping them out here. I don't know. You guys saw me thrift this basket, and I'm so happy I got it because it fits my tools. Like if whatever I'm going to be using on my project, it just holds it so well. And here's like another example of the ones that I collect. And it's just so fun because it collects, you know, it's a catch-all. And in here I have like a bunch of little cards and affirmations that are just loose that I find. Let's see. One door closes, another one opens. What is called loss is but transition, transformation, one form into another. When someone or something is lost, someone or something is also gained. So I don't know, it's just things that I can use for my junk journals when I start making them, or adding them to, you know, my orders as a nice message. Take time to be still. How else can you receive? So stuff like that. So I love this beautiful basket to hold those. Oh, okay. I also brought up a lot of my drawing stuff, like pencils. I think I'm gonna put this in one of those drawers. I might keep, you know, things like sketchbooks, tracing paper down there. Let's see. I was trying to teach myself how to draw like a fashion illustration, and I was just following a YouTube tutorial on how to do that. I don't know, I got this far. I like the old Hollywood glamour of it all. This one, this was so long ago. I don't even know what year it was. I like fashion. Yeah, I think because these are big, I'll just keep them down here. I'm gonna situate those books. So I wanna keep this little table here in the corner, but just to kind of hold decorative items or whatever current book my wife's reading, she could set it down there. But it leans forward so easily. I thrifted this. Sometimes when you buy something after you thrifted it, you understand why it's been donated, because it's so nice. Why would it be donated? Girl, because she's not very stable. So I'm just gonna take my largest book. The corners are over the metal back there, and that should do it to anchor it down. And I like a good book stack. It can be decorative. Girl, it'll work. And I think it looks nice there like that. And then I'll be able to put stuff on top of here. I think that I'm as figured out as I'm gonna get with everything and where it's at. So now I'm just gonna start putting things back, like hanging things up. I had a picture right where this corner lands here, like it was a large square. So I have to find a new spot for that. And then I'm putting up a couple of new things. So I'm just gonna start putting things back because I have everything kind of just corralled into these spaces and I need to get things back up. Yeah, just putting decorative items out. I think what I have to start first with though is the lights, anchoring them, because if I go and start hanging pictures up, they're kind of be in the way of me, you know, while I'm hanging up lights. So I think I'm gonna do lights first. And I think I figured out a way that I can use my staple gun, because they're not a permanent solution. They're just a right now for the foreseen future solution. I like the idea of a staple gun because it's minimal damage. And when I go to work on the walls, it's not gonna be too much of an effort to fix. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up my lights and then start hanging pictures up and then put decorative stuff everywhere. I'm glad I dedicated a couple days to this because I really needed it to happen. As I showed you guys before, it was getting way too chaotic in my living room and in my laundry room. And just having a small space dedicated to all of my paper art projects, I'm very, very glad that I'm blessed that I can do that and that my wife loves to see it happen. These two screws here were already in the wall, and I just saw like a blank space right between this corner and that where all my books are. And I was just like, well, I have these dresses that I think are art to me, you know. I think a lot of these vintage, beautiful beaded, fully beaded items that sometimes don't fit me, but I want to salvage because they're just so beautiful and maybe too fragile to wear. They're still art. It's textile art to me, you know, how some people get kimonos framed. It's somewhat in the same vein. And so I'm adorning my home with these textiles. And so I just put them up here. But I think that there's room for me to add another hook or another screw in the wall and hang a third piece here. You know, it actually, I didn't know if two hangers were gonna fit side by side, but I think I have enough space for one more garment to go up. This frame I got at a garage sale, and the lady said it was barn fresh. It's made of plaster and it's falling apart, okay? This, every time I touch it, the plaster falls off. Sometimes when I'm vacuuming, I'll find little bits of plaster on the floor. But there's just something, I don't know, it's just so beautiful to me in this state. When I bought it, the lady was like, oh, I hope you don't have a hard time restoring that. And I'm like, I don't plan to restore it. I intend to hang it up in this way. And she looked really confused, like, that sounds horrible. But I love how the crack of my wall is kind of running through it, and it matches up with all the various cracks in the plaster. This picture has no monetary value whatsoever. My wife's sister found it at a thrift shop and it reminded her of her mother. Now, my wife's mother died from cervical cancer when she was only 9 years old, and she was from Spain. She was a Spanish woman, and this is obviously a Spanish woman with her baby, and she had to have it, you know, and she recently mailed it to us so that we could have it. It is sun bleached. It's really sweet, the whole idea of it. And this property is very special to me and my wife. It just feels like we should be here for a while. I can't see into the future, obviously, but our hopes is that we do get to stay here for a while. And so we named the home and the property after her mother. And so I have her here in a place of prominence in the home. One thing that people tell me about her when we visit Spain, they love to tell us stories about her, is how fashionable she was and how feminine and how she just kind of had this air about her. And so I like to think that this dress would have fit her because she was a very petite, tiny woman who watched after herself and took care of her figure, that I'm almost certain she would fit in this dress and she would probably really enjoy and like it. So I kind of have it here as homage to her, and the fact that we've named her the property after her. It's all dedicated to her. I also have, you know, like her wedding photo and stuff like that downstairs. I'm happy that I could do that. And I just love it how it kind of looks, and because it's so faded, it's got a lot of green colors to it. And so these little side tables I picked up down the road, the lady told me she got them from Sorrento, Italy. They weigh nothing. Okay, I don't know what they're made of, but very light. And so I just put them here. The green on green, I think, really goes well with each other. And so I added the green dresses here, and I think it looks lovely. This picture I picked up at a antique shop in my town. And again, it's another Spanish woman with a Spanish guitar. And I just love it. I think it's beautiful. I think women are beautiful in general. They're my favorite creatures. I love women. I think it's really, really neat and unique. And I like black and tan, like what's going on here in these vases, okay? I love this color scheme. I like black and gold, black and orange, like this type of color family or color story, okay? I love that color combination. If I can paint my furniture black, girl, I'm gonna paint it black. Like, I just think it looks so chic, contrasted with colors. Girl, these 3 pots, I feel, to me, I know nothing about them, okay? I try to do Google image reverse search. I love everything about it. These 2 stripes here, just how the top is decorated. Girl, I got them at a church, like a little shop sale, for $8 for all 3. I was like, oh my gosh. Not that they're anything of immense value. I just was like, holy crap, these are beautiful. They look special. And I've had them for a few years and I adore them. I cherish them. They're really special. I could one day put like faux plants in here. And I have like little trinket boxes, so I could put like markers and notepads in here. I try to collect these little really cute boxes. They got like these little inlays in here. I love how they look. I can't tell you where they're made. It doesn't say, but they're beautiful. And I thought it was just nice to like put decorative things on top of the magazines. It's a small space, so I'm like trying to squeeze into the shots. But girl, I don't know if this is tacky or not. Girl, I'm pretty tacky myself, okay? I don't know if you noticed. But this lamp, when I saw it, I was like, eee! Oh my God, that is so freaking cool. This shade is pretty big. Maybe one day I'll find a different one, but this is the one that it had on it at the thrift store. And it's got these flowers inside that, I don't know, it's not for everybody. But the base of it is, I love the base of it. It's cut out, you know, it looks a little, I'm not sure actually. It just looks really nice. Like just enough tacky and just enough luxury. It looks really nice to me. And I just threw it on here for extra lighting by the desk. You know, none of this stuff is permanent. Like I said, I'm just moving things around, getting a feel for the spaces. You know, if it's a space that I love creating this type of art in, then it'll stay that way. If not, girl, I'll change it up, you know? Now I have this little desk here. Like I said earlier in the video, this is just one of my chairs for my dining room set. I only have 4 chairs to that dining room. It's not that big of a table, but it's just me and my wife. And I have these 2 guest chairs kind of just up against the wall. So I brought one up here and it's black and gold in this faux bamboo. I love that color combination. And this table was just like, I don't know, maybe, I can't recall, but $12 comes to mind. Maybe less, maybe less. It has a lot of damage to it. But if it's my crafting table, it's where I'm gluing, girl, I'm not bothered. But all this stuff can be sanded down, re-stained and painted and all of the above. When I have the power and capacity and funds to, I'll get around to it. But until now, I'm just testing the vibes out, okay? This picture here is also thrifted. It's very heavy. I think it's the frame. It's heavy. I don't know why the hell it's so heavy, but I love that it's a card. I like that it's a queen of diamonds. I just love cards, okay? I thought it was perfect since I'm gonna be using cards that I find at the thrift store that are like discarded to try to make kind of thank you cards or note cards for whenever I get an order. I just love it. I'm sure there are still more things that I have to bring up. As I come across them, I'm happy I have a place for them, but I just put some decorative stuff up here. This is, I believe, an urn. It has a paper in it that has a screw top. I have one down here, let me show you. There was 2 of them. They are etched metal in this beautiful, beautiful pattern. Gorgeous. I believe they are urns. They were at a thrift store. Girl, there's sage in here. There's sage in there. No, but I saw the paper and they were like new and it's, you know, had instructions or something like that. But I'm not bothered, girl. These are gorgeous. I didn't get any negative vibes from them. I thought these things were just bought and never used. Who knows why? I don't know. Maybe me and my wife will use them one day, girl. I don't know. Maybe for my pets, you know. But I think that they're gorgeous. They're black and gold. Some people are a little creeped out by that. And girl, I get it. But in my culture, we celebrate remembering death, okay? It's not something that we fear. We acknowledge it's a part of life and we celebrate with our loved ones that have passed by, spending days at the cemetery with them and actually throwing parties, okay? It's a part of life. It's a part of a huge lesson of our time here, and it's not morbid to me. Anyhow, so here I have like these boxes here that I have papers in. I have those little cards I showed you. Down here, if you can see, it's gonna be my storage little cabinet. I just have all my paints in here, heat gun, my pencils, color pencils, crayons, markers, because I love coloring books too, okay? I need to bring my coloring books in here. I love coloring as well. And a magnifying lamp from when I'm doing like my paper cutting, like X-Acto knife cutting, just stuff like that. I had to add my little camels here. I try to pick up little camels here and there, you know, ones that look interesting and cute. Usually they're like lost pieces to a nativity scene. I was telling my wife, like, gosh, you know those globe nativity scene things that you would put outside and illuminate? I was like, it'd be so cool if I could collect just the camel from all of those in that plastic mold, glow mold or something like that, and just have them like all in my front yard scattered like a oasis of camels. It's an idea. It'll probably never happen. It's a very specific thing to try to come across times 12 at least. And here I have this thrifted picture here. I just thought it was really cute. It looks like some kind of movie poster. And I like that it was a woman and that in this corner picture here was like two women. I just thought it was really cool and vintagey looking. And here I have a collection of little hands, like palmistry hands that tell you like the different life lines on your hands. Just started finding them and collecting them. I think they're really cute. And I have these paperweights and this glass ball. They're very heavy, so when I open these windows and things are blowing about, I can use them to like hold items down. That's the idea of it. And I just have this really cute little tray. I love the art on it. I just know my wife is gonna come over here and set a drink down, and I'm gonna be pissed if it's on the white furniture, even if it is IKEA and there's nicks and bangs. Girl, I don't need a coffee ring on here, okay? That's what that's for. It's like a little catch-all. And I have this little footstool down here. It slides under the chair perfectly. It's black and it's got these really cute gold fringe on the bottom. I think it's adorable. It's only 3 legs and I like that it's this shape. Kind of looks like a planchette with the little hole here. So I just have it here in case she wants to put her feet up, and I can scooch it underneath the chair because it slides underneath there perfectly. I knew I was gonna need a wastebasket, and I'm still in the market for one, okay? Because this was kind of like an impromptu situation. So I decided to use my umbrella stand because I wasn't really using it for much. I love the art on it, and these handles are so cool. $7 thrifted. And that's gonna be my wastebasket for now. It's decorative, it's really pretty, kind of goes with everything. And then here I have this larger one. I just wanted to show you how damaged it is. It's got like red paint on there that I cannot get off. You know, it kind of holds just pens, markers. It's really beautiful. And I just have it here on the desk. And you know what? This is what I tell you. It's like, I don't care if it's damaged, if it fits my aesthetic. It still has function and purpose. I will utilize it to beautify my space. I think it looks lovely, okay? We can mix and match things. Things still can be damaged, and luckily there'll be a lot less because of it. I'm not bothered, girl. This art that I have here by the chair, I love because the birds, they're very similar to the ones that we see on our property, but that's not why I have them. That's not why I got them. Girl. When I was staging my home to be sold, I had to get some more like commercial type stuff to stage my home, which is the purpose to a lot of this IKEA stuff, you know, was like so that other people can picture themselves in our home. My way of decorating is a realtor's worst nightmare. It's like, no, not everyone's an artist. This is gonna put people off. Let's turn it down and become more neutral. This was part of trying to keep it neutral, but I really like the black frames, and it's like got gold on the inside, and it just reminds me of the birds that we have on our property. So I was like, I'll just put them here. Girl, I wasn't trying to spend $1 on this. I was just shuffling things around in my house. And down here, I just wanted a little something that went across from the gold chair, kind of like a little catch-all. I just have a faux plant. I can't have plants in here. There's not much light. And then I'm worried that my cat is gonna swallow something that isn't good for him. And I can't imagine the action of throwing up for him is very comfortable since he has that thyroid issue. And so I can't. And when I have faux plants and he can reach them, girl, he eats them. What the hell? So I just don't have any. But I like that I have a stack of books here, and the second urn down here is so pretty. And I always keep like a little basket of money, you know, like a couple dollars and a crystal on there. I have money from like our travels around, and it's just a little space to kind of welcome prosperity. People in energy like to belong, right? Like misery loves company. Well, I like to keep a seat open for abundance, financial abundance, girl, because you can have friend abundance, love abundance, you can have hair abundance, whatever, okay? This is specifically for financial abundance, okay? And so I just want to create a space for financial abundance to come and have a seat at the table in our home and feel welcome here. We appreciate financial abundance and the security that comes with having that. That's the idea behind that, you know? We have a tradition that I grew up with. I mean, I grew up in a very multicultural neighborhood, and my neighbor was from Honduras, and she would have us come over, me and my sister. But at the stroke of midnight, you know, once we would watch the ball drop, we would walk around our neighborhood, which was, girl, a little sketchy, with our suitcases, and she would let me borrow one of hers because I didn't have any. And we had to eat 12 grapes. As we ate one grape, we would make a wish for that month. Each grape represented a month of the year of things that we wanted to wish for. And so she would put money in the suitcase, okay? And it would be like a bunch of change. And we would walk around the block, which was just like a mini version of some grander tradition, I'm sure. And it represented travel and financial abundance. And so now it's just like a thing that has stayed with me. So anyhow, it's always appreciating and acknowledging that that we love it and appreciate it. And every time we see it, we know it's always there and that it's on its way. All of those things that come with that. Okay. That may have been TMI, but I guess I tend to overshare. It's just my nature. I don't know. Maybe the more I talk, the more I'll be able to not overshare too much, but I just have so much that I want to share, darn it. I'm really happy. I have a very special lady that placed an order, and I'm gonna, you know, work on creating hand notes at my new workspace. I also have little projects, you know, things that I've collected, like jewelry boxes with other people's brands on them. And I kind of just want to be able to do like little collage pictures to cover that up so that, you know, when I do get an order, I can put them in nice boxes. I'm happy I have a space to do that. I am so grateful to all of you. I know that shipping cost is not cheap. That's why I try to keep my costs down on my website, because I know it's ridiculous how much, you know, we small business owners, people trying to contribute to their families, do not get discounts with the postal services. But Mr. Bezos gets all the discounts. Like, you know what? He's bringing them a lot of business. I hope you guys enjoyed spending a little bit more time with me. You know, I'm just recording this for people who want to get to know me a little bit better and see how I kind of create space in my home. And I need to keep doing it because I want to put my mark all over this place and continue to bless it energetically so that it draws more of this really beautiful, positive energy towards us. Okay. So yeah, that was it for today. I hope it wasn't too boring. I have to start planning my next style of video for you guys, but I want to share this stuff with you guys. I do. Maybe it's corny. Maybe it's cringe. You know, I got some people in my comments telling me I'm cringe, you know. I don't know why we use this word that was created to weaponize people who are just authentic, girl. Okay, I don't know, but it don't bother me. And so I'm just gonna be over here cringing on camera for you guys. Okay, so thank you for watching. Until my next video, I'll see you next time. Bye.